Hello, I'm Julie Andrews from Walton-on-Thames, Surrey, England. Good morning, America.
Good morning, Julie Andrews, and we will hear from General Foods Maxwell House Coffee.
11 minutes before 9. Julie Andrews won an Academy Award for Mary Poppins, and she's never quite escaped that super clean image. Well, in her latest movie, S.O.B, Julie may finally do just that. This is the movie in which Julie Andrews goes topless. What is this world coming to? S.O.B was written, produced, and directed by Julie's husband, Blake Edwards. It's a comedy loosely based on Blake's own experience as a successful producer who was pushed aside by the Hollywood powers after he produced a flop. Well, since then, Julie and Blake have lived in Europe. They've done very well. Their most recent movie together was 10. Julie Andrews and Blake Edwards were in California just last week, and Tom Sullivan spoke with them at their hotel.
You know, Julie, you have to understand that you were my first crush. And last night, I went to this movie. And in this movie, Julie Andrews took her blouse down, bared her soul to the world.
Well, it wasn't exactly my soul.
I missed it. And I'm still upset. I missed it. I asked people, please.
I was going to ask you about that.
Well, all right. Now, let me ask you
What
this.
can we do to rectify this, please?
Oh, God.
Hold that camera.
Yeah, the mind boggles.
Was this making fun of how the world saw you for all those years something very important to you?
It wasn't vitally important, but when it finally came time to do it, it was really a joy. The role is a beautiful role. I mean, the lady's a marvelous bitch, and any actress would give, you know, anything to be able to rant and rave and scream and have tantrums and hurl her Oscar and do all those kind of things. And it was just marvelous to cut loose, because too often I think I'm careful. And it was lovely to kind of let rip.
You know, we ought to set up a clip that we have from S.O.B. And for those of you who haven't seen the film yet, it's a story about a man who has been a tremendously successful producer. He's made nothing but hits, but he finally faces his first flop. He's married to a gorgeous star who happens to be in this flop. And he goes ahead and spends all of their money, everything that they have in the world, to buy the film from the studio. We've got a scene. Why don't we take a look at it?
Okay, perfect.
Felix had absolutely no right to do that. Gary said that legally in any court
Sally,
of
with
law...
all due respect to Gary, he's very bright, but he's your personal secretary. He's not your lawyer.
What, you mean that Felix can just go out and spend every single cent?
No, I don't mean that at all. Legally, you can take him to court. You can get an injunction against him for your half of the money. But that's going to be very messy. The press is going to have a field day. Do you really want to go through something like that?
No, but I don't want to lose $8 million either.
Sally, suppose the things that Felix wants you to do make sense in today's market. Would you consider doing the film?
You mean forget the money?
No, I don't mean forget the money. Of course not forget the money. But for the sake of this discussion, would you, if it wasn't for just a cheap effect, would you consider doing a nude scene or getting raped or whatever the hell it is he wants you to do?
Well, if it wasn't for cheap effect, I don't know. What do you think? You're my agent.
Well, dear, if I thought it was a real part and the audience would believe you in it, I certainly would have to consider it.
I guess I should ask Blake first, why did you make it? Why did you want to make this film?
Well, originally it was, I was in such a distraught frame of mind. I was really so unhappy emotionally that I had to exercise my demons. I really had to get rid of the pain. And inevitably for me, the way I get rid of the pain is to write about it and hopefully to laugh about it as I'm writing about it.
You wrote this screenplay a number of years ago. What was your mood when you wrote it?
Oh, I had enormous anger at that point. I wanted to get even. All of those things were operative at that moment in time. I was full of revenge and unbridled anger.
But this was 10 years
Full up
ago.
with venom and bile.
Well, then tell me this. What if this bombs? Is there going to be repercussions?
No, I wouldn't. I would be disappointed if it wasn't successful, because I would be disappointed that any work of mine didn't succeed in every way. But really, I've come kind of to a point in my life where the doing is important and not the rewards at the end. It's wonderful if somebody applauds you for your effort down the line, if you get some kind of an award or people say, well done. That's terrific because it just validates my work that much more. But really, the doing is what was important.
But what about the repercussion? Is it something you ever think about?
I think about them only that I'm aware that they might be forthcoming, but I'm not really. They can't hurt me anymore. I don't allow them to hurt me anymore. I've come to terms with that. I'm enormously philosophical about it, and I'm very comfortable now in my
So,
life.
although you do take on the establishment, you take on us, you, me,
Yeah,
everybody.
I rip everybody off.
Yeah.
Maybe, Julie, are you able, within the focus of your life, to separate your husband from your director?
That's a good question. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I stand back and I think, my God, he's good. But mostly the two. I'm still surprised that we're married. I mean, it's been a wonderful. How many years? 11 years we've been married, and I'm still staggered that we met and fell in love, and that it's still going strong.
Here we are.
5 minutes before 9. We're going to be back right after this.